Hi, I'm Angela Clark with Threadwaggle Quilting, and today we are unboxing Elna machines. This is the Elna EC60, which is comparable to the Janome 3160. So we're going to unbox this and show you what comes in your box. So I'm going to start by opening up the box, and like all of the machines, there is styrofoam inside the box. If I tilt it forward, you can see the styrofoam, and there's going to be stuff sitting on top of the box. I'm going to set the box down next to me so that I can get the machine out in a minute. But to start out with, we're going to have a manual in English and a manual in French, because these are boxed to sell in both the US and in Canada. And in Canada, you do need to have a French manual. Makes sense, right? So I'm going to actually put this down so that, oh, no, wait a minute, this one comes out a little bit different. 2 pieces of styrofoam. And then I am going to be able to pick up this entire machine. There's a piece of plastic. It's going to get noisy for a sec. I'm going to get the plastic off of the hard case. This is a travel machine, so you want a hard case on it so that it travels well and it doesn't get damaged. You do have an extension table for your machine that comes standard in the box. And then you have a parts bag and a power cord. I'm going to pull another piece of styrofoam off. And here's the little machine that has the foot in it and stuff already packed inside it. So I'm going to move the box so we can set that down. And just set the box down next to me, because I want to be able to put my styrofoam and stuff in my box as I'm working through stuff so that we can keep things neat. So I'm going to start out by taking this out. This is going to be your foot pedal for your machine. And then over here, there was a block that was sitting here protecting the throat of the machine that came out when I unboxed it, which is fine. And then all of the machines, when they ship with a piece of paper to protect your needle plate so it doesn't get scarred up if something happens with the needle. And I need to remember the little lift gate, I'm going to the back because that's where it would be on this side if I was actually using the machine. But it's actually this little black switch here is what takes the foot up and down so I can get the paper off. So let's get the rest of this stuff back in the box real quick. Now, I do suggest you keep your boxes. Anytime you buy a sewing machine, keep your boxes, because you never know if you're going to move somewhere in the future, and it means that you can pack your sewing machine back in it and it's protected in a moving van. So I have the box for every sewing machine and every long arm I've ever purchased. And when I sell a long arm, the box goes with it. But it also lets me, if I need to send something back for warranty work, pack it in that original box and send it back to the company. So I'm going to start out by, I'm not going to worry about this, we're not going to sew with it, but I am going to worry about the power cord real quick, because I'm going to get it plugged in so you can see it actually light up. Okay, so we're going to plug this cord in. Okay, and let's see what happens when we power it on. Okay, so the light is on this. This is a little travel machine, so it doesn't have all the lights up in the throat that the other machines do, but it does have a really good LED light that is right where you're going to be working. This has an arm on it so that you can do sleeves. So if I pull out on this, it's going to get smaller so I can put smaller things onto my system. And then this little thing will open up when it's on the machine. It's kind of hard to open it not on the machine. So it flips forward. There it goes. So you can put your parts and your bobbins and stuff in there when you're sewing. Okay, so it's a little storage case, which is nice. If I put this up, you can pop the little, nope, this one screws on. I'm not sure why it has a pop back here. The feed dog drop is back here on the back, and there's this machine, you take off the needle plate with a screwdriver. So I'm going to put that in there because we don't need the cord cable anymore. And the only things that we have, let's see, this is the case cover, which we are going to need. So there's not a whole lot to do on this, right? So if I want to use the extension cable, I do just slide this off and the whole extension cable is going to sit down next to it, which is nice. When I'm piecing quilts, I typically will use my extension table because it gives me a bigger space to be able to lay stuff out, because I want lots of space when I'm quilting. So let's look and see what accessories they send for you. They do give you a walking foot. Okay, and they give you the little spacer for the walking foot so that you can get channels that are the same distance apart on your quilts. You have a free motion foot, which is one of the P label foots. This one actually is a P foot. Janome and Elna use the same foot letters, so it makes it really easy for me. The A foot comes on the machine. They also give you an F foot, which is a clear acrylic foot. There is a C foot, which is a specialty foot. There's a little brush on it and wire, and it's for when you're doing decorative stitches. It goes over, the thread catches on the brush, and it's slower to pull back across, so it helps you form some decorative stitches. So that's an important foot to have if you're doing decorative stitches. And then we have, it looks like there are 3 bobbins in this machine. They give you a spare case of organ needles. You've got your little thread guide for you to use, okay, so this is your horizontal thing, and you're going to see it doesn't go up, which I was playing with the handle to see if it went up. It doesn't, but I can put this little post through here, and there's a little square cut in the top of the machine. So any thread that I need to use vertically, I've got a guide for that. I've also got little thread caps, which fit on the big post. This one is thicker than this one. This is typically for spools, and this one, well, they're both for spools. If I was using a big cone on this one, I would have a cone holder back here. There's a guide that you can screw down to the base of your machine that lets you butt things up against it so that the material is going to feed evenly. You have a seam ripper, which I love these seam rippers. I tend to love machine seam rippers. They seem to be a little bit sharper than other seam rippers. Brush to clean your bobbin area. This is a 1/4 inch foot. It's got a little black wall on the side of it, right? So that you can have your material underneath your foot, and it's only going to go as far as that little wall. So it gives you a perfect 1/4 inch foot. There is an E foot, which is your zipper foot, and a G foot, which has the little wall in the center. So this is when you are ditching. You can put this into a seam, and it'll keep your needle straight with your seam. And then the last one is an F2 foot. So the F foot and the F2 foot are going to be very similar. They're both mostly used for decorative stitching, and they've got wider channels in the back of them so the stitching doesn't get caught underneath the foot. There's like a channel it rides in. The difference between these 2 foot is one, it's open toe, meaning that you have access to the needle. There's nothing stopping you from, seeing the very tip of your needle going in and out of your fabric. And this one has a little acrylic bridge that goes across. There's a slit for the thread to go through, but that's the difference between those 2 feet. I use both of them. And then the last thing you get is a little screwdriver. So this is for you to be able to put your needle plate on and off, and also your needle. This machine has about, I think it has 60 stitches, which is why it's called the 60. It'll do buttonholes. It'll do buttonholes, but there's no buttonhole foot. So yes, you can do buttonholes on this machine. You would need an additional foot to do that. There are other feet that will work on this machine. I told you that there was a free arm so that you could do your set sleeves into garments. It has needle up, needle down. It does reverse. Most machines will do that. And bobbin winder is built into the machine. That's what this is right here. Like all Elnas, there's printing on the top of it that tells you the common things like how to thread, and this one is how to wind up bobbin. I love that they are built into the tops of the machines. And then the width of this system is a 5 millimeter foot. So it is a traditional width foot for the machine. And that's all it does. Okay, so thank you for listening to the video. If it was helpful, please like, comment, and share. If you'd like more information about any of our Elna machines, please put a comment on the video, and I'll be happy to film more videos. Just tell me what you want. Thanks again. This is Angela with Threadwaggle Quilting.